Welcome back to our Bantu history series. In case you are new here, make sure you support us by hitting that subscribe button to receive our future videos. The Great Zimbabwe Empire was one of the most powerful and influential kingdoms in southern Africa, reaching its peak between the 11th and 15th centuries. The empire, which is named after its most famous archaeological site, the Great Zimbabwe Ruins, was a center of trade, political power, and culture. Its legacy is one of advanced engineering, prosperous trade networks, and significant contributions to African history. Early beginnings and rise to power. The origins of Great Zimbabwe trace back to the early Iron Age, around the 9th century. The first settlers in the region were likely Bantu-speaking groups who introduced agriculture, ironworking, and other skills. These people formed small villages along the fertile river valleys of southeastern Zimbabwe. Over time, these communities grew and coalesced into more complex social structures. By the 11th century, the area around Great Zimbabwe had developed into a powerful trading center. The strategic location, near both mineral resources and trade routes, contributed to the city's rise. The local rulers of Great Zimbabwe were known as the Monomotapa dynasty, and their empire expanded through military conquest, alliances, and the establishment of an organized political system. The Great Zimbabwe Site. The ruins of Great Zimbabwe are one of Africa's most famous archaeological sites and stand as a testament to the empire's grandeur. The city was built using a technique known as dry stone masonry, where stones were stacked without mortar to create walls and structures. The site consists of three main parts: the hill complex, the great enclosure, and the valley ruins. The hill complex was the royal palace, located on a hilltop, offering strategic views of the surrounding area. It was the center of religious and political power, and likely served as the residence of the king and his court. The great enclosure, the most iconic feature of the site, is a massive circular wall that encloses an area that may have been used for ceremonial purposes. It is famous for its high walls, which were built without the use of mortar, showcasing the advanced architectural knowledge of the people who constructed it. The valley ruins contain several smaller buildings, which were likely used for residences, workshops, and other community activities. The wealth of Great Zimbabwe was not only based on agriculture, but also on the trade of gold, ivory, and other valuable commodities. Artifacts found in the valley ruins, such as beads and pottery, indicate that Great Zimbabwe was a hub for both local and international trade. Economic power and trade. Great Zimbabwe's economic strength was primarily driven by its access to natural resources. The region around the city was rich in gold, which attracted traders from far and wide. The kingdom's wealth was also bolstered by its control over key trade routes that connected the interior of Africa with the coast. The Swahili coast, located along the eastern shore of Africa, was a major trade partner, and Great Zimbabwe was part of a vast trade network that included Arab, Indian, and Chinese merchants. The kingdom exported gold, ivory, copper, and other valuable goods in exchange for luxury items like glass beads, ceramics, and textiles. One of the most significant economic contributions of Great Zimbabwe was its role in the gold trade. Gold mined from the region was transported to the coastal city of Kilwa Kisiwani, one of the prominent Swahili city-states. From there, it was shipped to the Arabian Peninsula, India, and even China. The wealth generated from this trade enabled Great Zimbabwe to maintain its power and influence over a large territory. Decline and legacy. By the late 15th century, the Great Zimbabwe Empire began to decline. Several factors contributed to this decline, including environmental changes, overexploitation of resources, and internal political instability. The once thriving gold trade diminished as resources were depleted, and the power of the monarchy waned as rival factions emerged. Additionally, the empire faced pressure from external forces, including the rising power of the Portuguese along the coast. By the time European explorers and settlers arrived in southern Africa in the 16th century, the Great Zimbabwe Empire had largely disintegrated. The ruins of the city, however, remained as a powerful symbol of the lost civilization. Despite its fall, Great Zimbabwe's cultural and architectural legacy continues to influence the region. The ruins of Great Zimbabwe are recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and the term Zimbabwe itself is derived from the Shona word Dzimba dza Mabwe, which means houses of stone. Today, the history of Great Zimbabwe stands as a reminder of the ingenuity, resourcefulness, and enduring legacy of African civilizations. That is all we had for you today. Please subscribe, like, and comment. Thanks for watching. We will see you on the next one.